Hey guys, welcome to this week's Most Craved. I'm Jenna Busch with Legion of Leia.
I'm Silas Lesnick with ComingSoon.net.
And I'm William Bibbiani with CraveOnline. And hey, we've got Diablo Cody on the show.
Woo!
Hello.
Who has awesome hair?
She has
Thank you very much.
the world's most awesome hair.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
The world's third most awesome hair. And she wrote the new film Ricky and the Flash, which is coming to theaters next week. It's got Meryl Streep and Rick Springfield,
Never heard of her.
who's sexier than he's ever been
Oh my God.
in this film.
I know. I mean, Rick Springfield is in his 60s, and he's
refuse to
still
accept
this rangy, hot rock star, and it's not fair because I'll never pull that off. Like in my 60s, I'm going to be in like a muumuu covered in powdered sugar.
What made you want to make a movie about the Flash?
You know, it's actually, my friend works on the Flash show, and I'm like, I hope actually that we get, some of the superhero audience.
Yeah.
We can trick them into coming to see this movie. But no, the name of the band is the Flash because it's this classic rock band, and they always have these great old names like the Rippers. Well, now I'm thinking of Jesse from Full House, but there is a symbolism to the name.
Well
And
done.
I love that you did live music for this.
That was the coolest thing because typically when you see musical performance in a movie, it's this totally canned thing. Like you go back and re-record it, and people are lip syncing on set, and this was the exact opposite. Everything that you hear when you go to see this movie was recorded live.
That's amazing.
How did the song choices come in? Because we were actually talking about the very first song.
American Girl, and it's directed by Jonathan Demme, who used that song very effectively in Silence of the Lambs.
I know. It's
And we
a
were
nice
we
little
were laughing.
callback. I chose some of the songs that are in the movie are in the original script, and a lot of them are not because Jonathan is such a music dude that of course he came in and figured out amazing ways to tell the story through the songs and license different stuff. So it was a collaboration.
Well, what didn't make it into the script? Was we can't afford the rights to blank.
I don't think it was like. Let me think. You know what? There was a scene where there's a scene when have you seen the movie?
Yeah, I was seeing the movie.
So there's a scene where she's going off on Mick Jagger and about how there's this double standard against women who want to play rock music. And she was supposed to sing a Rolling Stones song leading into that, and I just cut it because, the Rolling Stones song, it's a lot of money.
And you probably have to run that dialogue by Mick Jagger as well.
No, you know what? It's interesting. I was concerned about that.
Yeah.
I was like, is Mick Jagger going to get mad? And I guess you're allowed to say anything you want in this country.
What? Who knew?
I know.
I was unaware.
I was stunned. So, yeah. Well, sorry.
I was going to say you have some really strong female characters in this film, and it is largely about the women in this film, and the guys are kind of. So we were actually talking about this after the screening.
All of the women drive the story forward, and the men are sort of periphery, which is sort of refreshing.
And it's the way it is.
Well, yes.
Yeah, it's a reflection of reality. No, for whatever reason, this has just become my thing that I do is write female-driven movies, and I hope the male characters seem rich as well. But I agree that in this movie they're definitely like the supporting roles.
Do you think that the scene in Hollywood is changing?
For writers, yes, and for producers, yes, and on the studio side, I see tons of powerful women. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
The girl thing. But directing, it's still really interesting how few female directors there are working.
Is it now? I know you've directed before, but is there more? Are you pursuing directing?
No,
more, or
I quit. I retired.
You really?
Yeah, I was like, I'll try this once, and it was not for me. I'm way too chill to be in charge of that many people.
I'm imagining a chill set. Everyone's just like, okay, no, I want this shot here and this shot here, but seriously, everyone, it's all good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just not. You really have to have you have to be a really decisive person with leadership qualities to do that job, and I wouldn't describe myself that way. I'll just put it that way.
So, but you got Jonathan Demme working on this particular film. That's neat.
He's the coolest guy ever.
Yeah?
I was not prepared. I mean, I obviously knew that I admired him as a filmmaker, and I was super excited that he was going to make the movie. And but I didn't anticipate that he was going to be like the most cool, like lovely, awesome person.
What did he bring to the script? Because I imagine it's all there on the page, and then it gets demified in some way.
You know what? He favors an incredibly natural style, and he does these really long takes, and for him, he's just like, he wants things to feel real. Like, he said, can we put a dog in the script? And I said, well, most directors will actually ask you to cut animals out of the script because it's a pain in the ass. And he was like, yeah, but it's real. When you have a dog in a scene, people buy it. And I was like, I love that. Like, he just wants everything to feel as natural as possible. And it was unusual because usually as the writer, you care the most about the script and you're constantly doing everything in service of the script. And I sensed as we worked our way through production that he cared as much about it as I did. Like, he wanted to talk about the script all the time, and I just thought it was so cool.
What is the process after you've written it to find a director?
Well, in this case, when I wrote this movie, I had envisioned it as like this micro indie. I didn't even think we'd be able to get it made because it's about older people, and it's not like the sexiest, most high concept story, So, but then when Meryl Streep read it and decided she was going to do it, that just changes the game completely. Suddenly it's like, directors want to do the movie, and like everybody wants to be in the movie, and she's a good thing to have attached to your project. I found. So she had worked with Jonathan before, and we had suggested him to her, and she was like, "That's a great idea." So
I'm picturing this line of directors, and it's like like everyone wants to work with Meryl Streep. So you got like Michael Bay there, and you got like Kevin Smith there, like this huge.
See Michael Bay's version of this.
Yeah, it'd be great. It would look gorgeous, and you would probably cut all the women out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there'd be more explosions.
It'd be just the Flash.
Be a lot of Meryl Streep's abs. He's very big on the abs. She'd be leaning over things a lot.
Yeah.
Did you have any of these actors in mind, or did you have someone specific as you were writing? Because I know you base this on a family member.
No, I didn't have anybody in mind, and I definitely didn't think there was any possibility that Meryl Streep would want to do it, because that's like the dream. Everybody wants to work with her. She gets 1 million scripts a week to read, but I couldn't get it out of my mind as I was writing, like, oh, but she would be perfect. Like, she would be perfect for this. So I did think about her, but the Rick Springfield character, that was kind of a happy accident, because I had always assumed it would be just some actor who could mime playing guitar, not knowing that Jonathan's commitment to realism is like, no, forget it. We got to get somebody in who can do all of it. And so he started auditioning musicians instead of actors, because he wanted a musician who could act and not vice versa. And that was how Rick came in.
Were you surprised by how good an actor Rick Springfield is? Because Rick Springfield's really good in this movie.
I know he is. Have you seen him on True Detective recently?
I've not seen the new season.
He's like a villain and totally creepy and different, and like he's a very good actor. And no, I was not aware of that. I didn't watch General Hospital back in the day, so I wasn't familiar with his.
He holds his own with Meryl Streep.
It's kind of amazing.
You know who else I really, really loved in this movie is Kevin Kline.
He is awesome. Him and Meryl have like this very specific kind of chemistry together that's so great, and he's someone I've admired since I was like a kid, so it was very cool to have him there.
One of my favorite things about this movie is it has a lot of, I think it enjoys its own contradiction. Ricky is, this hard rockin' woman, but she also voted for George W. Bush, and they talk about that.
Yeah.
And, can you tell me, was that like just wanting to make the characters more interesting, or is there like an ongoing theme here about people filling different roles?
For me, one thing that I love about Ricky is that despite her edgy persona and the way that she dresses and the way that she lives her life, there's these moments throughout the film where you remember that she is like a mom. Like, she'll talk about reading like Parade magazine, or like watching 60 Minutes and supporting the troops, and it's like, oh, this is like your mom on Facebook. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's cool, but she's also kind of square. And I just thought that was an interesting contradiction.
Well, it's hip to be square.
Well, I like that, there's not villains in this film. Everybody, you sort of see their perspective, and
I'm not good at writing villains. I don't think I've ever done it effectively.
Charlize Theron a little bit in a young adult.
Yeah, but she's the protagonist.
She's the protagonist,
You
but
know
if you
what I
look
mean?
at it from
That's
anyone
what's so
else's
wonderful.
perspective,
Yeah.
it's this
Is
creepy
mixing
thing.
it
Yeah.
all together and like having these human conflicts generate
That's more interesting to me than having a good guy and a bad guy, because I do feel like most of the situations we get ourselves into in life are just gray area, morally speaking, and it's like nobody's really good and nobody's really bad. So I do try to reflect that in the stuff that I write.
Yeah. But can you tell us what you're working on right now, or is it all top secret?
I guess I'm allowed to say this now because I think it got out yesterday, but I'm working on an Amazon series with Tig Notaro and Louis C.K. And we shoot the pilot in like 3 weeks.
Holy crap.
So yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, it's been
Thank you
under
for
wraps
taking the time.
Yeah, no, I know. It's been an interesting month, but yeah, I'm very excited about that.
Can you tell us a little bit about it? Like, or is it that still a secret?
Gosh, I don't know how much. Yesterday was the TCAs, and I don't know how much
Yeah.
they actually revealed about it.
No worries.
Tell us
but
what it's
Tig is the
not.
star.
Okay.
It's based on her life, and Louis is executive producing it, and he brought it to me to write it with Tig. So that's how it came about.
Did you know him before, or was that?
No. When he called me, I was like so excited. I was like, "What could you possibly want from me?" And like, yes, you can have it.
Can you talk to him without cracking up constantly?
You know, I just try to keep it super professional. Like, yes, sir. Like, you know, I don't know if we've ever gotten into like a flow, but yeah, Tig. I can't talk to without laughing hysterically. She is like the funniest, most dry human being on the planet. So.
Awesome. Well, we can't wait to see that because that would be neat.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I hope that we actually get like a show out of it. You never know these days.
That is true. Well, anyway, Ricky and the Flash opens in theaters next week. I liked it a lot. I think this is a really fun movie.
It's right. Also, now I want to play guitar.
I know. Meryl learned for the movies,
Which-
so it can be done.
That's why I want to, because when I heard that, I was like, well, Meryl Streep can do it. I can totally do it.
You just need to get Neil Young to teach you, because that's what she got.
What?
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Yeah, he
So
gave her first lesson.
If you want to make a great movie, get Meryl Streep to star in it, include a dog, and learn guitar.
That's what you've learned today.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.